Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly sales meeting. We are thrilled to have you with us and excited to dive right in to a day packed with some updates, some information about some upcoming events, information from our lovely and talented business partners, as well as a little bit of a conversation around the next few weeks and the next few months and the next few years as we get into what's going on with our databases and our calendars. But first, we want to start with our conversation we start every week with around our mission, vision, values, beliefs, or perspectives. This week, one thing that jumped out to me in the meetings that I was having with agents, and particularly meetings I was having with agents that work for other brokerages, is just how much this concept and this belief of teamwork resonates and exists in our office, and how is a powerful thing is for is that with teamwork together, everyone achieves more. And I can't tell you, I can't count on both hands the number of people that I had a conversation with who were able to reach out to another agent for help with a listing, for agents that were able to go along on listing appointments, for agents that own teams and they're working through compensation models and they're able to reach out to other rainmakers, and how for other folks outside of the company, that's not always the case. Not always are they able to just pick up the phone and call anybody that they get to call their colleague and ask them for help and actually get it. And so wanted to take a minute this morning to just celebrate that and to encourage the cultivation of that. We heard from Jermaine Burge last week about his really strong success to start the year, and how he attributes to the help that he got from other people, and now he's excited to give back and help others. And want to just encourage that cycle. And of course, if anyone ever needs anything from me or anyone on the leadership team, please don't hesitate to reach out then as well. So thank you all for that. Thank you all for leaning into, believing in, and creating the culture that makes this a great place to work. All right. Painting the town red. Go ahead and jump into the chat box and let us know what listings you have or what listings you have coming. As you can see, month to date, as we are starting to see coming up against last year when the market was really starting to pick up, and then also hitting some natural seasonality within the market right now as we work through the back half of August. If you can believe it, there are only 2 weeks left in this month, and we will be barreling towards Labor Day. Our performance month to date against the MLS, slightly behind. We're working with substantially smaller numbers, so no need to hit the panic button. We know everyone is out there working hard, scoring listings, and driving towards doing what's best for their clients. But we like to report the stats as they are, not just always the good ones. So you can be aware of where our collective business stands. But please go ahead and hop in the chat and let us know what you have coming. All right. Speaking of listings, want to celebrate from the month of July some of our agents who had really, really strong months. July was a huge listing month. We know how valuable listings are right now. And all of these agents took really big advantage of that opportunity. Everyone on here has at least 3 listings they took in the month of July, nearly 1 a week. So congratulations to all of you on that. Top listing teams, for anyone who wants clarification, it's 2 licenses or more, 2 licenses only that qualifies you as a team. So congratulations to these groups and their success. Specific shout out to Lance De La Roca and the newly formed Supreme Home Group for his success. And then our top listing groups, this is for anyone with more than 2 licenses. So congratulations to all these groups, and special shout out to the Zimmer Real Estate Group, who welcomed their newest member recently with the birth of Sam's daughter. All right, so for top closings, big month in July for closings, our highest volume month ever. Always really nice to see a couple guys that we featured in the last couple weeks at the top of this list. So congratulations to them. I think they were, if you liked what they had to say, the proof's in the pudding. They are having a huge year, both Art and Jermaine, along with everybody else on this screen. And then to our top closing teams, lots of great success here. And again, running out of room on these promos to squeeze in all the people who are having really, really big months. So congratulations also to our top groups, which lead the way for our organization. And then our top team agents, lot of big success, not exclusive to just teams, groups, or individual agents, with these team agents building and having really big businesses and really big years. So congratulations on that. And then one of the July was the first time for a lot of agents who have recently decided to call Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan home. And so if you know anyone on this list, if you would be so kind, reach out to them, give them some kudos on their first closing, the first of many. And if you don't know them, just drop in the chat box and shower them with love. Huge accomplishments. And speaking of folks that have decided to hang their license with us and build a career worth having, all of these individuals decided to join Keller Williams, and we welcome them to the party here in the month of July. We're going to be talking a little bit more about how some of these folks found their way to Keller Williams a little bit later on. But congratulations and welcome to all of our new agents. So let's talk about our upcoming events. We are, as we said, about halfway through the month, just over halfway through the month of July. Want to just give a quick shout out and a reminder around opportunity time. You'll see that in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. If you are interested in signing up for opportunity time and taking advantage of that, please reach out to Sierra at the front desk. And then a reminder that our power hours for if you need accountability and you want to get around some other folks that are doing their lead gen and making their calls to help you do the same, please join us in either side of town, 9 to 11 every day. We've got a couple of small groups of folks that are in there doing it and enjoying success because of it. All right, today at 2 o'clock in the Pepper Pike training room on the 3rd floor, the MLS will be coming in to do a class on some tips and tricks around navigating some of the changes that are coming with the MLS around areas and some new functionality that's coming in regarding some map functions and some different tools that will be available in the coming weeks and months, or may already be here. And so if you are interested in taking advantage of that, that is 2 o'clock today in the Pepper Pike office, 3rd floor in the training room. Stop by and say hi on your way through. All right, and then I think yesterday was the last call for this CE event. I'm sure we'll hear from Jade on it, but maybe if you ask nicely, they will let you sneak in Thursday's 1-hour CE class plus kayaking event with Greater Metropolitan, title and escrow. As we have been doing throughout the entire month of August, we are hosting Tech Tuesdays immediately following our sales meetings. So in the last couple of weeks, we did a deep dive of our smart plans and some of the automation available through KW Command. And then last week, Danielle took us through designs. Today, immediately following the meeting, Julia and Carrie are going to be working with us on opportunities and how to manage our pipeline and our deal flow with that tool. And always, as a reminder, if you are unable to make it to one of the trainings, including a Tuesday morning sales meeting, these are all recorded and posted on our YouTube page for you to watch at any time. We do get a lot of traffic there. We get a lot of views there. So please take advantage of it. One of the blessings coming through how we've spent the last 18 months has been the ability to capture some really fantastic content from you all as agents and some of our guest presenters. So be sure to take advantage of that. So next week is the week. Mega Camp is here, and we want to make sure that you all are aware of everything that we have going on around Mega Camp and the opportunities that exist for you both here locally and to plug in to what will be the largest digital training event in the history of the real estate industry, right? This is going to be a big, big event. Even though it's going to be digital, it's going to be hyper interactive. There's going to be a ton of opportunities to engage with and network with and learn from other agents across the country. Here locally, we're hosting two separate watch parties, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one on the east side of town, one on the west side of town. And we are going to gather at Shaker Heights Country Club on Tuesday and Avon Oaks Country Club on Wednesday, and take in Gary Keller's interviews with mega agents from around the world. We'll be gathering good snack bites in each other's company, and then listening in on interviews with those rock star agents. Those of you who remember in 2019 during Mega Camp, Ryan Young was interviewed by Gary Keller. And so that was an awesome experience for him, an awesome experience for everyone who knows him. And so looking forward to hearing from that caliber of agent from all over the world during these events. Please know that we will, for anyone who is, concerned or doesn't feel safe, like social distancing can still be exercised. And we will welcome anyone and everyone to the extent that they feel comfortable. So please make sure that you sign up for that. We do have limited seating, so we would love to see you there. We'd love to maximize the opportunity. And I believe that link just went in the chat. One other really great thing about Mega Camp, we're doing stuff here locally. You can sign up for a ticket digitally and get access to all sorts of different breakout sessions that cover nearly every aspect of the real estate business and funding your perfect life and building passive income and building a team and real estate investment and whatever else you want. As you can see, there is a ton here. So if you're interested in Mega Camp, in Mega Camp, getting the digital ticket, please do that. There's actually something really, really cool that they just added this week. I think it's going to be exciting for a lot of people. I know I'm excited about it myself. And that is that anyone who registers before the end of day Friday will have exclusive access to a one-on-one interview that Gary Keller is going to do with Kendra Scott. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Kendra is an entrepreneur out of Austin, Texas, who has built a tremendous brand that has scaled very quickly, and she's had a ton of success. She is a very, very talented, very sharp business mind, and she is going to sit down with Gary for an exclusive interview and talk about the methods and the strategies and the things that she did to scale her business quickly, build and protect a really strong brand, and then put herself in a position to live life by design. So if you are a big Kendra Scott fan or just a big Mega Camp fan, sign up before Friday to access this opportunity. It's going to be really, really outstanding. All right, so earlier in the call, I mentioned that we had a lot of agents make their way to Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan last month, and we do every month. And how folks end up here, there are a few different ways, but the number one way, most consistently, is that an agent in our office is having a great experience, is winning at life. And the folks around them will say, hey, tell me about real estate. Tell me about this career. Tell me about this place where you work. And then The agents do this really slick thing. They just invite them to a career night. And so our next career night, it will be next Wednesday, August 25th, both sides of town, east side and west side. And we'll be starting around 5:30 and having a great conversation about everything that Keller Williams has to offer, the opportunities to start and grow your career with our company, and all the ways that we'll do that. And folks, if it's somebody that is in real estate classes, great. Somebody that's done, great. Somebody that is just starting to have their first thought about careers in real estate, send them. There, we go soup to nuts on this whole experience, about getting the license, getting established, and then growing a business. So a great opportunity for everyone to start to participate and benefit from the promise of profit share. And also you get to choose who you work with. So if you have people you like, send them. And then a few quick shout outs regarding the upcoming calendar. I want to make sure everyone has some of these key dates available in the month of September. Our investor mastermind on September 8th, our core law CE on the 9th, and the clam bake on the 24th. We're going to deep dive those last two in a moment, but also please lock in November 8th. Our business planning clinic will be at Michael's Woodside Event Center in Broadview Heights. It will be good for 6 hours of CE. And it will be a really, really, that one down, one of our biggest. September 9th. So in just a couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from Thursday, you asked for it and we are bringing it back. CEs in the office. So you'll see on our calendar, there's one every month for the remainder of the year. We do have limited seating here. So please RSVP via the Eventbrite, get that taken advantage of, make sure you get your Cs, get it knocked out. Core law is required for everybody. And so take advantage of that. And then the clam bake, tickets go live today. So please take advantage of this. It is our largest KW Cares fundraiser of the year. And you cannot spell fundraiser without fun. And that is what this event is. It is a blast. So we get together at Mayfield Country Club. We have a few drinks. We stuff our faces with clams and steaks and chickens and all sorts of things like that. And then we have a lot of fun raffling off some baskets to raise money for KW Cares. And then our very own local auctioneer, Tom Seaman, will lead a live auction throughout the night, and we'll raise a lot of money for a really, really good cause, which you hear about from time to time on here, and you heard me talk a lot about last week, which was KW Cares. So please jump into the chat, click the link, buy your ticket now. There are limited seats, right? We usually get over 200 people attending this. This is a great, great event for client appreciation, for that favorite inspector who always does you right. Bring your family. It is a family event. There's always a bunch of little ones running around. I'll be bringing my folks. So it's a great opportunity, just an excuse to have a lot of fun on a Friday night. So mark your calendars, buy your tickets, and we will see you there. All right. And with that, I am going to throw it over to who I can only believe is probably Kendra Scott's biggest customer. Two biggest customers are Sean Hadley and Don Jarecki. I'm sure they're usually buying that jewelry to get themselves out of the doghouse. So gentlemen, what do you know about the mortgage world right now?
All right, so Don has another appointment here this morning. So Chris and I are gonna hold the fort down just with a couple quick announcements. First one, kind of a cool post here this morning. Cross Country was named number 682 on the top 5,000 of quickest, fastest growing companies. It's our eighth time making the list in the past 9 years, so I thought that was pretty cool. For those of you coming into the office, don't forget, Chris and I on the east side are on the 3rd floor. So pop by and stay high, and throw a stress ball at you here today will be the motive today. But come and introduce yourself, especially those who haven't met Chris here since joining the company 6 months ago. So I'm going to put a flyer in the Dropbox or chat here today just about renting instead of owning. Just shows a quick table of how much rent how much money is being spent by a renter over a 5, 10, 15-year period. And I've had a lot of past 6 months, I probably had more buyers buying from their own landlord. So realtor goes out, lists a house, they're sitting there saying, hey, tenant, you're gonna have to get out this weekend as we show homes. They end up writing an offer and buying the house. It's probably a pretty easy listing for an agent, but we're seeing a lot of that. That being said, if you're working in a scenario like that, or I think if you're working with an investor who's either selling a home or an investor buying a home that's going to be a rental property, just note that if you have any rent prorations or security deposit that's being transferred, make sure that you put that on the contract right up front. That does have to be reviewed by underwriting. We're seeing a lot of times where that just shows up on the final settlement statement because the title company is aware, but the lender's not. So that just really, I guess, all I have here for today. But yeah, if anybody needs anything, just always feel free to reach out. And if you're going to be in the office, especially for one of in the conference room, stop by and say hi to Chris.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sean. Appreciate that update as always. Next, we will go to Miss Gina Legeza. Gina, how are you this morning? And welcome to the party.
Thank you. Doing well. Today, wanted to talk about bulletproofing your transactions in this market. I love what I saw earlier about the top agents listings. An average of 3 a month, I believe Michael said. We always want to list with a home warranty because it protects your seller legally. It gives them complimentary coverage during the time of listing. It reduces risk for them. And it creates touch points for you as far as communication every time they have a claim. Digitally, we have repair cards, and you are notified every time your client gets something repaired. Bulletproofing for your buyer, it just simply is going to save them a ton of money on the biggest investment for their life. It's going to create an even more dialogue for you in the next year. If they have any problems arising, you can be the hero and protect your client if anything comes up. So I just wanted those simple tips today about bulletproofing your transaction by listing with a home warranty and obviously putting one on for your buyer.
Love that. Love that. And thank you for shouting out our top listers again. They are rock stars. All right. And our last partner update for the day is from Miss Jade Tishka. Jade, what's going on with Greater Metropolitan Title and Escrow?
Hey everyone, good morning. First off, can you hear me? I was having audio issues on my last call. Okay, yep. Cool. So unfortunately, due to the weather inclement that is predicted on Thursday, there's supposed to be strong storms. Kind of had to make an executive decision yesterday on the kayak, and we decided to cancel it. For those who have purchased the tickets, we are going to refund your money. We are working on a new CE this fall, but we're just going to kind of watch this way since we just have had some issues. The venue was planning on not refunding if we did pay for the food, the kayak, and all of that. So that was the executive decision that had to be made. My apologies if you did plan your day around that. I'm very, very sorry, but expect a refund here shortly. So again, my apologies, but no one wants to kayak in the rain.
That's true. Well, not an easy decision to make, but absolutely appreciate you bringing that to us today. And we will look forward to seeing that pop back up on the calendar in some way, shape, or form here in the very near future. All right, excellent. Thank you so much. So with that, with those updates from our partners, I want to dive into a conversation that I got to be a part of yesterday with several other leaders throughout the country during our Keller Williams Realty International weekly growth call. So it was a great conversation that Jason Abrams, our Vice President of Industry, was leading regarding the cyclical nature of the business. And I thought it was really impactful and just wanted to immediately bring that to all of you as a framework for your business, which is, what we're all here to support. And the framework that was offered up was really around, not being a slave to the January 1st to December 31st cycle of the calendar, right? And really starting to think about, the cycles of the business in a different way than, the fiscal or calendar year. And so wanted to share the framework that was offered up there. So this idea is to break your database activities and your business into 4 quarters based on what you're doing during specific times of the year. And so the argument is to reset your calendar and say that today starts the fall cleanup. Remember, we're framing this around our database. We know that our database drives our business. And then moving into what we'll call the winter of renewal, which is where we renew or refresh our relationships with everybody in that database. And then if we're doing the first 2 things right, we can come out of the gate extremely strong with an explosive spring. And then we all know that it is a ton of fun whenever business is rocking. And so if we can carry that through from the spring into the summer, we can have a summer of fun. So what exactly are we talking about with each one of these? As realtors or as just people going out and living their lives, we are coming into contact with and starting relationships with a lot of different people throughout the year. And as things get busier with our businesses, we might not always keep the best track of everyone that we met. So as we are starting to feel the market shift seasonally, right? A bit of a slowdown in closings, globally and locally. It's important to take advantage of the opportunity to re-engage with and establish a place in our database for all of the leads that we would have had come in throughout the year. So that might be people we met at an open house and we put them on a 7 contacts in 7 weeks deal and nothing came from it. That person's still a lead. They're still in our database. They still might need our help. Anything that we get off paid ads, any referrals that we get, anybody that we've got a name and a phone number and an email for, we've got an opportunity in the next few months to engage that person and, most importantly, capture as much information as possible about who they are, where they currently live, where they want to move, and get really serious about tagging that database to reflect the things that we know, right? Buyer in 2022, still looking in 2021, whatever it is, and then get them back on some smart plans. Maybe we had them on before and they ran their course. Maybe we haven't. And that's a great opportunity, right? A couple of weeks ago, we did a session just on smart plans and how they can make your life so much easier from being in constant contact. But this activity for your database, to get it in order as you start to find yourself with a little bit more time, do the same thing with your contacts. Maybe your database as it stands today is full of your sphere of influence or past referrals or your refers. Do you have all the right information on them? Do you have the information necessary to take your relationship to the next level? Or are they even in your database, right? Appropriately tagged, or are they just in your phone? And it's like, yeah, well, Brad's referred me 5 deals in the last 6 years. Like, why would I need him in my database? Well, we're going to see how important that is in the next few slides, but take advantage of not just with your leads, but with the people that already exist in your database or in your phone to really deep dive those, the information and the tagging and the relationship there. And then also don't lose sight of your clients that you helped close this year or clients that were unable to close this year, right? As we've just come through, the last 90 days in our market have been the most active potentially ever, right? And so there is a very good chance that somebody you were trying to help in the spring fell through the cracks, or maybe hasn't gotten the love from you that you're known for, that your service is built around, just because you had 6 or 7 other, maybe 10 or 12 other active buyers, or you had 2 listings go live and they all were in multiple offers. That's okay, right? If that person hasn't bought with anyone else yet, they can still be your client. But even for the folks who you've helped succeed, make sure that they're on, smart plans, home anniversary reminders, that you're asking for referrals from them on a consistent basis. You're asking for reviews. These are great touches and a great opportunity now to build to build out and make your database more robust. Because when we get into the winter time, right, we're going to have a very different set of activities, right? We can't wait until November 15th to start scoring people's mailing addresses to get them their Thanksgiving card or their holiday card or whatever it is, right? That's an important touch. That's an easy reminder. That's going to end up on somebody's mantle. Same thing. We can't wait until, the week of New Year's when we're going to send out our super glossy, super sexy year-end report or projections for the market in 2022 to all of our people, only to realize we only have addresses for about 17 of them, right? So if we're doing that now, it allows us to activate that database during some of the slowest months. And do the same thing for referrals, right? Make sure that all the referrals that you are getting, you're immediately sweeping them into your touch campaign throughout the fall. Additionally, everybody, assuming that we're able to stay ahead of the hounds as it relates to COVID for the next few months, holiday parties are going to be back this year, right? Maybe you'll be hosting them. I always like to say that, sometimes professional athletes play hurt. During the winter months, you're going to have to eat hurt. You might have to eat 2 or 3 dinners in one night to get to all the different holiday parties, but no realtor should ever miss a or anywhere the opportunity to be in conversation and to do a little lead gen, liquid lead gen or otherwise, is never greater than it is in the fall, or excuse me, in those winter months and the holiday months. And then giveaways and gifting, we see it with pies, we see it with fruit cakes or whatever it is that you want to do. Make sure that you are putting together a strategy for your successful clients, your unsuccessful clients, folks that just haven't been able to get it done. They weren't able to bring the cash to the table, whatever it is. They should still feel the love, because that is not a deal that didn't happen this year. It's a deal that's only just going to happen next year, right? So let's make sure that we're taking care of them throughout the fall. And then, make sure that we're positioning our gifts as something that is useful, durable, and is going to be a significant or constant reminder of you as their realtor. I'll let you figure out what that is and how it comes together. Last book that I put on my bookshelf that I have not yet read is Giftology. It's a book about the psychology of gifting. If you want to get excited and do it right this winter, that might be a great book for you. And then finally, whenever you get a deal during this time of year, because there's so little activity in the market, the resonance of success with your database and your sphere. When you get something sold, you get something listed, you get a buyer into a property, those are gonna be so much louder than they could have been in July, right? They're gonna be so much louder than they would have been in the busiest months of the year. Because right now, if I scroll through my Facebook, obviously friends with a lot of realtors, everybody's selling a house, right? Everybody sold 2 last week, it feels like, and it was even worse in July. But when it's happening in December, you'll stand out, and that'll allow you to start some really significant conversations. And make no mistake, this isn't just all driving towards next year. We're getting into a conversation with people, and we will find now business by cleaning up our database, by reaching out to the people who have referred deals to us, by following up on some of the easiest things, holiday cards, holiday parties, a little holiday gift, whatever it is. Those will bring now business and set you up for a big explosion in the spring, right? So now we're rolling through. Listings are going to be very important next year, just like they were this year. The market is going to shift, but we are not going to turn this thing on its head. So make sure that we are focusing on listings. Timing the listing, pricing the listing, and bringing buyers are going to be your key to success. No one knows what the market's going to do in the next 60 days. Certainly don't know what it's going to do in 6 months, but make sure that you are keeping your conversations as not vague, but you don't want to be definitive on price or market activity for somebody that's going to list 3 months from now. You want to make sure that you're staying up with the market of the moment to maximize the opportunity for your seller to sell at the highest value as quickly as possible. And then from the buy side, as you've sorted through and you've built out that database throughout the fall and winter, make sure you're power ranking those buyers and getting the big wins in early that'll allow you to celebrate those successes, celebrate those wins with stories, right? And so make sure that you're telling a story about starting a conversation with somebody in September, identifying their needs, getting them, all of the resources they needed, walking them through the process, and then getting them to the closing table versus under contract in 2 days, right? People are attracted to, navigate to, and are drawn to stories. And so if you can take your client experience and make it a story, you'll put yourself in a position where you'll attract more clients because they want to be a part of a really great story. And then the summer of fun, part of it, as you all just lived through it, is a rinse and repeat. Stay focused on listings, stay focused on high ability buyers, stay focused on having those buyer consultations and buyer intakes multiple times with a client as they live in your database, because their needs, their abilities will change and they can elevate. But if we're not having the conversation with them, we can't elevate them as a priority. And then during these high intensity or really busy time periods, which, listen, for some of you might be right now, and some of you may have go gangbusters in September, October, right? We're talking about normal seasonality. Look for an opportunity to maximize some through some temporary marketing support so that you can stay focused on your highest and best use, which is listings and helping buyers get to the closing table. Sometimes we think about this when it is too late, or we hit our ceiling and decide that 5 pending is the most that we can do. But if we're enlisting help on the front end, or we're thinking about, once I get 3 pending, I need to start enlisting a TC because otherwise I'll never get to 8 pending, right? And make no mistake, your highest and best use is still listing paperwork at a kitchen table or spending time inside of a home with a buyer. And then just a reminder that when people are winning and when they are having success, that's your clients. When they are winning and having success, they want everybody to know it. And so it's great to ask for the referral right when you are, peak happiness at the closing table. And then also following up once they're moved in, once they're settled in, once they've had all their friends over for the housewarming party, who do you know, right? So make sure that the referrals can always be a part of your business, but the opportunity to make it a big part of your business is when your business was when you're doing the most business. And so I'm just going to scroll backwards here real quick to give you, and listen, guys, these dates, they can be whatever you want them to be. You can say that I'm going to start my fall cleanup in October. That's fine, right? But just have a strategy to intentionally clean things up, right? And I'm sure as we're talking through this, a few of you have probably jotted down or remembered or thought of somebody who you talked to 6 months ago, and then somewhere along the line, the relationship went cold, right? It might be that you still haven't put that whole page of open house sign-ins into command yet, right? Well, those are still people. There's still somebody on there who hasn't found a house in the last 6 months, right? And so some sort of attempt to intentionally get back to the table with your clients again, and then or with your potential clients, and then making sure that we have a strategy around maximizing the time of the year where the universe conspires to give us the easiest excuse to reestablish or to get into a relationship with our clients again, and that is the winter time and the holiday season. And then let's make sure that we are stacking up and of everything that we're going to get clarified and we're going to get lined out, during the fall cleanup and the winter renewal, we are prepping it and putting it in order for, you know, a really explosive start to the spring, right? And if we start hot, we can stay hot, right? No one likes to play from behind. And so the opportunity for us to get out to a great head start next spring market is actually right now, is over the next 4 months. And then in the summertime, take advantage of resources available. We'll have some different trainings coming up throughout the fall, led by some folks who provide marketing support, led by some folks who provide TC support to help you, you know, structure cleaner transactions. And then that, you know, that may trigger for you that, you know, despite your best efforts, cleaner transactions are just not going to happen given your personality style. And, you know, you might want to enlist that help to maximize the high points of the year. Any questions about any of that? I know it was a lot of me flapping my gums, but I want to give the opportunity. If anybody wants to see any of those slides again, I can send them as follow-up. Just drop something in the chat. You know, the idea here is to create some intentionality around what we can do today for business tomorrow, so that we're not showing up in, you know, November, December with no activity, and then, you know, determining that we're just going to have to get it all done in April. Right? Because, you know, your business is always 90 days out. And so if we're getting into the activities of cleaning up our database and getting touches in with our clients, we will find business for October, November, and December, right? The opportunity for more deals there, and then to leverage them as high impact assets, because there won't be a lot of deals happening, will put you out ahead of realtors that are just engaging in this from a seasonal standpoint, right? They sell in the summer and then, you know, they go do something else in the winter, or they just, you know, they kind of putter along. The opportunity here is to build a big business. So Carol, yeah, if anyone else wants those slides, they are welcome to them. And we're actually going to wrap a little bit early today and just transition immediately into the conversation, our Tech Tuesday conversation with Carrie and Julia. So I'm going to turn the mic over to them, and they're going to take us through opportunities and how to leverage that to manage your deal pipeline and to streamline your business from contract to close.